Hey True Crime members, it's me, Monkey Dragon here, and the topic of today's video is my wish list for Fallout 4, and with that, let's go to begin. Okay guys, as I'm sure that most of you know, E3 is right about to happen, and I thought I would kind of throw out what I would like to see from Fallout 4, and kind of get your guys' feedback too, to see what you guys would like to see from the game. One of the first things that I would really like to see from this game is multiple main stories. One thing that I really enjoyed from Skyrim is that it wasn't just the one storyline where you go through and then you fight Alduin and you kill him, and then it's like, oh well, I guess there's a whole bunch of little side quests or something to do. Not to knock the side quests, usually in that game there's like even they have their own backstory, and they usually keep you somewhat engaged, like the fate of something's in balance. You know, you're always saving something, which is pretty good for backstories. But anyways, so the other storyline that was going on was the whole rebellion that was happening. You know, you could choose between like the Imperials or the Stormcloaks and choose who wins there, and then there's the whole idea of peace where you negotiate peace if you haven't already won the war in there, which is a really cool thing that you could do. And also the Thieves Guild, they had a really cool looking storyline too that kept going, and it had different plots, and it did affect different things, which is really good. I enjoyed that game because it felt like there was multiple storylines going on, and there was multiple splinter points, which I really enjoyed. It didn't feel like once I did the main storyline that everything else was kind of side or filler, if you guys get what I'm saying. And the reason why I bring this up is because of Fallout 3. One thing that I think everyone would say is the biggest flaw with that game is once you beat the main storyline, the game ends. You know, you don't get to do side quests or anything like that. So your first playthrough, you're like, oh wow, I didn't get to, you know, go ahead and do the slavers trade or anything like that. That really sucked. Or I didn't get to play out what's his name? The guy in the main tower. It's been so long since I played with him, but you get to blow up Megaton and stuff. So that was a really big flaw, although they did fix it with DLC. Once you got the DLC, it opened up into more side quests and stuff, so it unlocked those games that you accidentally finished. So, yeah, that's a thing. Although I will say in Fallout New Vegas, they did somewhat kind of precursor Skyrim in a way. They did have a pretty decent main storyline where you were fighting over the Vegas Strip, and you could choose to like be with Mr. House or you could take it for your own. And then they did have the elements of Caesar and NCR, which is really cool. So that was kind of a precursor to Skyrim in a way. Well, the storyline setup, which was really cool and I really enjoyed. But I would like to see the same thing, but even more multiple main storylines. The Thieves Guild, if there is one or something like that, whatever it may be, I'd like to see multiple main storylines where they interact more and you can get multiple different outcomes, because that's what I really love from the Fallout games, or at least from the Bethesda games, is I could find out so many splinter ways when I replay the game that, you know, if I decided to go, instead of doing the main storyline first off, I go with some secondary main storyline and finish that out, and then when I go back and see how different things interact and who's there, who's not there, what's available to me, I really enjoy that, to figure out what's all the possibilities. It's really cool, and that's one reason why I really enjoy those. So yeah, that was the first thing. The next thing is I would love for them to make a return of weapon mods. In Fallout New Vegas, they had this ability for you to apply different things. You can get like carbon fiber frames, which you could reduce the weight of the weapon by like 15 pounds or something like that. Like if you had the anti-material rifle, or if you had did they have the Fat Boy? I forget if they did. I don't know if they changed it or something. I think they changed it to something else. I don't think they had the Fat Boy in New Vegas. Yeah, I don't think so. Anyways, I would love to see a return of that, maybe with more different possibilities. You know, they expanded a little bit more so that we can make those guns really amazing and make them really cool. I would love to see that to make a return. They did a really good job with that. The next thing, I would like to see them somehow make... What the F was that? I guess a cat was eating a bird. I would love to see them have some kind of weapon buff. One thing that I really do enjoy about Bethesda is that when I play the game, I could choose what I want to be, and then I could play as that character. And like such in Fallout, I could pretend to be some kind of advanced energy weapon guy, and you know, rush straight to energy weapons, and then stick with those throughout the entire game, and say like, yeah, I'm the laser guy, or I'm the plasma guy. Or, you know, I could say that I'm a rifleman, I like to be with pistols, I like to be melee, I like to be fists, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's really cool. One thing I'd like to see them do is that if you do find a weapon, it doesn't have to be a unique weapon, it could just be a standard weapon, is if somehow you have a skill level with that weapon. Going beyond just skill points that's in the game, because those just allow you to get different perks, or at least that's the way it worked through the other ones, in the other Fallouts, is that you gain these different skills, and then as you gain those skills, you're able to get to the perks. Although, once again, the skills, they did kind of increase your capabilities of those weapons. I would still like for you to, like, say, ooh, I really like this Magnum, or I really like this 10mm pistol or something, and as you get more kills with it or something, the weapon itself gets better and better and better. This way you can carry it later on, because once you get higher up there, you can't really bring a 10mm pistol to a Deathclaw fight. But I'd really like to say, like, yeah, I'm a gunslinger, you know, I have really good skills with this pistol, and I can take them on, you know what I mean? Obviously, not right out of the gate, like I said before, the more kills and the more time you use it and that kind of stuff, the better the weapon is. I'd really love to see that somehow be implemented into the game. The next thing is unique ammo. I love this in Fallout New Vegas. It was so cool, the ability to craft like explosive rounds, inferno rounds, and sometimes like armor-piercing rounds, and then there was hollow point rounds, which I do believe just did damage to things that did not have armor. It was really cool. I love that feature. I would like it to be a little bit easier to craft, because when you first did it in Fallout New Vegas, I almost completely avoided the feature from like the first 3 playthroughs that I did, because it was a very daunting task. When you first are seeing this, you know, you really don't understand what's going on, how to break down things, how to get things, the skills that are involved, and that kind of stuff. It was very, like I said, daunting. I would like it to be a little bit more noob-friendly in a way. You know, when you first see, like, oh yeah, improve this, and, you know, maybe direct graphs or some, not so much graphs, but little bars to, like, damages and how it would improve your weapon and stuff, that would be really cool. I would really enjoy that. So, yeah, make that return, and maybe just a better UI or something. But that's about it. Next is the main character improvements. One thing that I've truly enjoyed from the Fallout game is that once you make your first character and you choose your specials, although from the leveling system, once you level up, you can improve your specials there too, which is a very slow kind of process. You normally wouldn't do that because you want to take the perks, because you only have so many perks that you can take in the game. Unlike in Skyrim, which was really, really cool, but we'll get into that in just a moment. I would like to just see multiple ways for you to improve your character, you know, more ways to improve your specials. Obviously, having all your specials up to level 10 is just way too ridiculous. That would make your character way too powerful. You still want to have them somewhat specialized. And I understand it is a single-player game and whatnot, but, you know, just walking around in God mode always takes away from the experience for me. I still want to feel in danger and whatnot. So I'd still like some ways of like, oh yeah, if I can get a total of like an extra 6 points on my special, no matter how way it may happen, I would like to be like, oh yeah, I would go intelligence now, and then I'll go in strength later because I'm going to be a melee guy or something like that. I would really like there to be another way to improve my character even more than I have, either in armor or something like that. I'm not really too sure. The next thing that I would like to talk about is level cap. One thing that I think was amazing in Skyrim, or another thing that was amazing in Skyrim, is the fact that, well, through DLC, you were able to improve your character beyond what he was initially. Originally, the way the game worked is you would get your skills, and the more skills that you put into things, it would unlock new levels. And you can only increase your character up to a certain point. I think it was 84 levels. That's if you maxed out everything. So if you wanted to be, you know, just a two-handed machine with hammers and stuff, you know, if you wanted to max out your character and get the most points that you possibly could, you would have to go down destruction. You would have to go down alliteration, or something, whatever it may be. Yeah, it would have to go down the magic trees and everything else, the sneaky trees and all that kind of stuff, just for you to be able to increase your character to the max possibilities that you possibly could, which really did suck. But in the DLC, they allowed you to take your skills and go legendary. So once you maxed out a certain skill group, you can make it legendary, which would take away all your levels in that skill, but still leave you with the same skill points. This way you could re-go up to 100 and get even more skill points and more skill points and more skill points. This way you can max out your character and increase his health and his stamina and magic, which I think was really awesome. I'd like to see the same implementation into Fallout. This way we can get all the perks that we wanted. And hopefully in this little kind of precursor or a little side note is that you can only take your special increase so much. Like I said before, having your special completely maxed out would be absolutely ridiculous and would kind of ruin the game. Anyways, so the next thing that I'd like to talk about is make the VATS a little bit more, how can I say this? Make it so that it's not every single time I use it, it's like, oh, head, 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 head. and then that's it. Because that's pretty much what the Vance is for. I'd really like it if, taking out a leg or something, it knocks off his aim, or maybe he can't run away or something like that. I understand it does slow down their movements. That's something that's been implemented into the game, but I would like it to maybe somehow, instead of shooting the head, maybe different body parts leave you with different amount of loot. Like if you shoot him in the torso or something, it maybe ruins the chest or something, but it kills him faster. If you shoot him in the head, maybe you get less gold or something. I don't know. Just something where it doesn't make you just go head, because usually the head is the most points that you'll get into the game, especially with all the VAT perks that you're able to get. It's able to almost be like a 95% of the time, whenever, if you're running a good setup, it's like 95% chance that you shoot in the head, and then it's always a one-hit kill. It's a thing. I would like it to make it where it's more valuable or more viable to be able to shoot in the other parts of the body. That'd be really cool. The last thing, or one of the last things I'd like to talk about, is increasing your carrying capacity. I know there's a perk, strong back, and then there's another one, I think it's like a camel or something like that, horse's back or something like that, where you're able to increase your carrying capacity. Another thing that I liked in Skyrim is there's an ability for you to enchant your armor to increase your carrying capacity, which was really, really cool, and I loved it. I would love for Fallout 4 to do the same. Maybe with different different tiers of armor. The higher end armor that you get, you're able to carry more or something like that. Kind of like what they do in, what's that name? DayZ. DayZ, the better the armor that you get, the more pockets you have and stuff, the more things that you're able to carry. Obviously, don't implement the DayZ style of the carrying system, because that's not what this game is about. But I'm saying maybe with the higher tier armor, you're able to carry more things because you have more pockets. That would be really cool. I would really like that, because it makes your raiding and your looting a little bit more, not troublesome, but it limits how much you can do with a run. You would have to go out and maybe you can only go like halfway into the tomb or whatever it may be. Then you have to pull back out, go sell all your shit, and then come back, because you can't just walk around encumbered. It's just really annoying. Or, yeah, it's encumbered. Or overweight, whatever it is in the Elders or Fallout. It's been a while since I played New Vegas. I've been mostly playing Skyrim. But anyways, the last thing that I would like to see is some kind of unique weapon plus system. Maybe when you're using lasers, it blinds the person. When you're using plasma, it has a burning effect because, there's molten plasma on them. And maybe when you're using sniper rifles, it cripples limbs easier. Maybe when you're using pistols, it does more, critical damage or something like that. I'd like to see, when you're choosing a different weapon class, that it does something a little bit more unique. Maybe melee weapons that cripple the limbs quicker or something. I don't know. I would just like it to be more viable. When you use these different kind of weapons, they have different little abilities to them. That would be really cool. Because as it is, it's pretty much all the same. Although there is the only special ability that you get in the end, if you get the perks, is that if you get a laser weapon, it'll do 5% more damage or something like that. And when they die, they'll turn into dust, which is okay. And then when they plasma, they turn into goo. And there's a thing called bloody mess. I don't know if it's just pistols or all the weapons or something like that. It's been a while since I looked at the perk. You would shoot them and they would explode into a bloody mess, and that would be the end of it. I would like there to be a little bit more uniqueness. Like I said, maybe when you're shooting them with a laser, because all these bright lights and stuff, and they're getting hurt, maybe they can't see or they get a little bit dazed or something, like I already said before. That'd be really cool. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I could really think of what I would like to see from Fallout 4. I'm interested in you guys' thoughts and opinions. I understand this video ran down pretty long, but I'm really passionate about this game. I truly, truly enjoy, not so much this game, but the franchise, Bethesda, mostly all the games they ever came out with, except for Ridge, are just amazing. Everything they touch usually turns to gold or platinum, whatever you prefer. I prefer silver. But yeah, guys, I'm Monkey Jimmy. So what we got? Peace.